So hey guys, new selection just dropped, so let's go through all the cards together. Well, the new ones at least. So, uh, alright. We have Gold Pride Star Leon. During the main phase, quick effect, you and target one face-up monster your opponent controls. This card gains attack equal to that target's original attack. Then, if your life points are lower than your opponent's, you can destroy that monster. You can only use the previous effect of Gold Pride Star Leon once per turn. So that's hard once per turn. But the next effect is soft once per turn. During the end phase, if the previous effect was activated this turn, return this card to the extra deck, and if you do, special summon one Gold Pride Leon from your deck or graveyard. And then Gold Pride Leon effect says, if your life points are lower than your opponent's, you can special summon this card from your hand. This card is normal or special summoned. You target one non-warrior Gold Pride monster in your graveyard. Special summon it in defense position. Also, you cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck for the rest of this turn except for Gold Pride monsters. So let's see. If you use this effect, that's what would happen, right? So this is optional. Oh, and just to be clear, this effect is mandatory. But I mean, technically, if you were playing something dumb like Invoked with this, Invoked Kaliga, I think it was, would stop this effect. So yeah, just getting that my intrusive thoughts out there, out of the head and into the world. Anyway, so this has the effect to quick effect synchro summon a synchro monster using only Gold Pride monsters you control. And the target for Leon will obviously have to be Star Leon. But technically, if you do think about it, this effect that locks you here is for the rest of this turn. So technically, on the next turn, you can synchro summon whatever you want with Leon. The intended target is the Leon synchro, but I don't know. Just for example, if you were playing, I don't know, just somehow Kashtira Punk, Gold Pride, you could, I guess, activate uh, the effect of Leon here to synchro summon into like I don't know, Baron. Sure, whatever is fine. Shooting Riser if you have 3+4, and then you would synchro into something else with Shooting Riser, I guess. Like, I'm not sure exactly what you would do, but you have options, so that's the important part. And then we have Super Heavy Samurai Motorbike here. So the first effect here, hard once per turn. If you have no spells or traps in your graveyard, you can discard this card, add one Super Heavy Samurai monster from your deck to your hand, except for Super Heavy Samurai Motorbike. You can only use this effect of Super Heavy Samurai Motorbike once per turn. Once per turn, you can target one machine monster you control and increase its level by 2. This effect is not hard once per turn. And we're going a little too far, so let's go back. This card can attack while in face-up defense position. If it does apply its defense for damage calculation, a super heavy samurai monster or monsters you control would be destroyed by battle or card effect. You can destroy one super heavy samurai card you control instead. Once per turn if your opponent activates a spell trap card or effect, except during the damage step, so that's soft once per turn. You can draw until you have 3 cards in your hand. I don't really see how that effect is ever useful, but the protection effect is actually not that bad. So, yeah, just for example, if you have one, well, like when you're actually playing Super Heavy Samurai and not like spamming out like generic synchro monsters, the thing you can do, I guess, is you could technically have, for example, I don't know, maybe you have a Scarecrow on the field still, maybe you have um just a pen scale, just whatever, right? You can destroy that instead. So it's just destruction protection, which is not bad. And you can potentially draw like a card or two. I don't think you can get that many draws off of this, but I haven't really played Super Heavy Samurai, so I cannot confirm. Jesus Ama Ritara. So this requires a tuner and a light monster. This card's name becomes Visus Starfrost. While on the field, you can only use each of the following effects of Visus Ritara once per turn, so hard once per turn. On both effects. If this card is Synchro Summon, you can add one spell trap that mentions Visus Starfrost from your deck to your hand. During your main phase, you can destroy one monster you control. Also, all Synchro monsters you control will gain 100 attack this turn. So I gotta say, I don't like this card. Hmm. So this adds uh any spell trap that mentions Vice's Starfrost. So you're telling me this adds Perlarino. So all I have to say is Tearlament's still not dead. Great. Thanks. I hate it. And destroy one monster you control. So you're saying like perhaps, I don't know, I will special summon Vices Amritara, adding a copy of Perlarino, and then I will use the effect of Sharon that I add off of this, or maybe I add, I don't know, uh, just uh, what's it called? So you can add either like I guess Sharon or Rhino. If you haven't like normal summon technically, I'm not sure if that's doable or not, but in case you actually summon this without normal summoning, which I think is pretty possible. Wait, one light monster plus a tuner. Wait a second. Is that doable with like, huh? Maybe, actually. So 1 plus tuners plus 1 light monster. So you're not limited in the amount of tuners you can use for this, which is, okay. So technically if we have 2 level 2 tuners and 1 level 4 light monster, you can make this. But that aside, yeah. This destroy effect, what does this possibly trigger? Sharon. Let's just say you, I don't know, Sharon Mill, Seamare, and then you use Amritara to pop Sharon, that is Kit Kalos, and enough said there. So that annoys me. Hmm. Well, yeah, whatever then. Veta Kalanta. Card on the field is destroyed by card effect and Vice Starfrost is on the field. Except during the damage step, you can special summon this card from your hand, then you can add one clear new world from your deck or graveyard to your hand. Another monster in your possession is destroyed by a card effect, except during the damage step, you can target one monster your opponent controls destroyed. If you do, this card gains attack equal to that monster's original attack until the end of this turn. You can only use each effect of Veta Kalanta once per turn. So honestly, this card just looks pretty useless to me, personally. I mean, you can also play this into your sub. But anyways, clear new world effect is target one face of monster you control, destroy it, and if you do special summon one monster from your deck in defense position with a different original type and attribute whose level is lower than that monster's original level, but negate its effects, you can only activate one clear new world per turn. So look at this. I instantly hate this card. Do you know why? Well, I can tell you why. So normal summon Ash Blossom Joy Spring, activate clear new world, and then I can special summon a monster from my deck in defense position whose original type and attribute is uh just different. Okay, so what can I summon off of just normal summon Ash Blossom Geospring Dotscaper? Yeah, that's right, you can Cyberse combo with this. Like using generic hand traps in this dumb way. Well, at least they don't have that many like high level generics, like higher levels, so you can't really get into anything like super great off of this, but just the fact that you could do that if you really want to. Not saying it's necessarily good, but the fact that you can do that and climb into terahertz off of just Dotscaper is insanely stupid to me. Yep, and that's like 2 negates. So anyway, uh, this adds clear new world, and then you can summon a monster of some sort or a variety. It's just something. Not exactly sure, but just for example, like Tearlament cards, and I guess this is mostly for Monadium, but like Tearlament cards can get triggered by a Clear New World, and if you summon a Tearlament's monster, you can trigger the graveyard effect still, so you can fusion summon reasonably with this, and then we have New World Formation. Target one spell trap in your graveyard that mentions Vice Starfrost, set it, and if you set a trap or quickly spell that can be activated this turn, you bash this card from your graveyard, then target 3 spell traps in your graveyard that mentions Starfrost except New World Formation, shuffle them into the deck. You can only use each effect of New World Formation once per turn. This card would just be good in tier, I'm pretty sure. like as a one of, it's just good for grind game. It's not like that good for like turn one, I guess, but you know, what it is what it is. And then here we have one of the most broken cards. Just really dumb, honestly. So, I did a little bit of research before this, like I usually don't, but Super Heavy Samurai just was pretty hard to explain. So, anyways, for the monster effect, don't care about it because no one is going to like be resolving this. Even super heavy samurai players don't want to resolve this because even like you don't want to be locked into super heavy samurais and when you're playing super heavy samurai. So this effect irrelevant. Essentially, what this does though is you discard one monster and then you in special summon a super heavy samurai monster from your hand or deck in defense position, and that's it. Aside from that, if you use the Wakaushi here as a synchro material, it gets scaled. You know, it gets placed in a pen zone. That's about it. But the effect that really matters is the pendulum effect. If you have no spell traps in your graveyard, you can place a super heavy samurai pendulum monster from your deck, except for super heavy samurai prodigy Wakushi in your other pendulum zone, then special summon this card. So this will scale super heavy samurai monk Big Benkei. So the monster effect, once again, doesn't really matter here, I believe, right? If you have no spell traps in your graveyard, you can send one super heavy samurai big Benkei from your hand or deck to the graveyard, and if you do special summon this card from your hand. This card is used as synchro material and added to your extra deck face up. You can place this card in your pendulum zone. Hey, wait a second, this is pretty good for my like rank 8 deck if I was playing one. Hmm. Well, anyways, the primary effect for the two and super heavy samurais are basically just their pendulum effects. So, if you control a super heavy samurai monster, you can add one super heavy samurai soul monster from your deck to your hand. So, what do you think you add? So, yeah, just add Soul Piercer, right? So, what rarity is Soul Piercer? Rare, I think, probably. Is it even in? Let's see if we can find it here. Okay, so Super Heavy Samurai Soul Piercer has the effect of you can target one Super Heavy Samurai monster you control, equip this monster from your hand or field to that target. If it attacks a defense position monster, inflict piercing bell damage to your opponent. If this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can add one Super Heavy Samurai monster from your deck to your hand, except for Super Heavy Samurai Soul Piercer. So, uh, the next thing you would do here, like, is to probably add motorbike, I guess, right? Yeah. If you don't have access to motorbike. So, I think the play you're supposed to do is, let me think about this. Uh, I don't quite remember, but you add Soul Piercer, and then I think you normal summon it, equip it to, or not equip it, link off a Scarecrow, and then you can just add whatever, and you go off from there. But either way, I think this was just a combo that can make Baron really quick, and then it also does not require your normal summon, so that's pretty degenerate. So either way, these guys are all machines, and you just make Auroradon, and we can sum it up like that. And then you just do an Auroradon combo after you make Baron early on. That about sums it up. That Heavy Samurai in a nutshell. And this by itself is a one card combo, right? But keep in mind, uh, Motorbike over here also searches Wakyaushi here. So if we just look at this, we have three cards. So one, two, three, and then one, two, three. That's six one card combos because this just searches this. Okay. And then there is also um, Soul Piercer. Is Soul Piercer even here? Checking all the rares real quick. No. Well, whatever. So, Soul Piercer. Let's see. My blindness is really kicking in today. So Soul Piercer, you can just normal summon this, and then you can link this off. This has no hard ones per turn. So link off Soul Piercer after you normal summon it, adding uh, Motorbike, or you can just directly, I think, add a copy of Wakaushi, right? This is just any super heavy samurai monster, right? And this is also any super heavy samurai monster, right? Yeah. So whatever the case, you add Wakaushi off of these guys, and these guys are all one card combos. So that's 3, 6, 9, and then actually there's still another one that we haven't gone through. So let's do related cards on Motorbike. Let's see if I can find it. Here we go. Super Heavy Samurai Wagon. So this effect is when this card is normally special summon, change its battle position. So this is mandatory. This card can attack while in face-up defense position. That is text on like every super heavy samurai monster. If it does apply its defense for damage calc, if you have no spells / traps in your graveyard, you can change this face-up defense position card you control to attack position. And if you do, add one super heavy samurai soul monster from your deck to your hand. So, what is a super heavy samurai soul monster that you add off of this? Well, Soul Piercer. So, I can't find Soul Piercer here, so don't know why I did this, but anyways, essentially what you're going to do is you're going to use Wagon to add Soul Piercer, and then Soul Piercer is going to be in your graveyard, right? And then you're going to get this into the graveyard by equipping it to the wagon. Then you link off wagon for Scarecrow, and then this will put this in the graveyard as well. And then you can use the effect to add. And then once again, you grab your Wakushi off of this, and once again, one card combo. And also, like let's assume that like you Ash the Soul Piercer, uh, the Scarecrow can just activate again to summon back the Scarecrow. So that's just the thing, I guess. The Scarecrow is hard once per turn, though, I guess. So, discard one monster, target one super heavy samurai monster in your graveyard special, summon it to your zone, discard points you in defense position. You can do that effect, link off again, and that just works, you know. There's also, like, I think a line where you pop this with Baron, I think, and then that frees up your extra monster zone for Cleafor Genius. So when you pen summon, you'll be able to pen summon 2 machine monsters, obviously, right? And when you do so, you can add Therion Regulus up. That's just another Omni Negate, because it is indeed a machine. So technically, since that is also a nerf machine, uh, it, it's pretty quick for them to get into an Omni Negate. Potentially, they can just, for example, instantly go Motorbike, Regulus. So super heavy samurai players will obviously opt to play Cypher Gear Gamma because you don't want spell traps in your graveyard. So it gets pretty complicated, but you don't really want to be playing Cult by the Grave, so you can play around Gamma, right? But they can't really play around your Droll, so it becomes pretty interesting when you think about that. But I mean, that's me getting a little sidetracked there. Anyways, uh, continuing on from that super heavy samurai tangent. Dreaming Nemlaria. Once per turn during your main phase, you can place one Nemlaria continuous spell from your deck or graveyard face up on your field, and if you do add this card to your extra deck face up, you cannot special summon Dreaming Nemlaria the turn you activate this effect. Cannot be normal summon / set, must be special summon from your face up extra deck by having no cards in your extra deck, except for Dreaming Nemlaria. You can only special summon Dreaming Nemlaria hard once per turn. This card is special summoned for every 3 your face down banish cards. You can banish up to 1 card on its field and or graveyard face down. Then Shuffle one of your face down banish cards into your deck for each card you banish by this effect. So, simply put, uh, th this is the only pendulum, and from my impression, deck's not really good. Uh, I believe none of these cards have like any forms of interaction at all. So this effect is gain attack. This one is banish one face down card from your extra deck, face down. So cool. This is protection. And what's this do? Negate. This isn't even negate destroy. So if your opponent targets one of your Nimlaria cards, this can protect it from like targeted effects. And then this one, uh, it adds a Dreaming Nimlaria from your deck to your face-up extra deck, or it can change one other face-up monster in the field to face-down defense position. So this is like a Book of Moon. But this can't be quick effect summon, can it? Checking. Let's see. If a number monster you control would be destroyed by battle or an opponent's card effect, you can banish a card, a face. Wait. You can banish one face down card from your extra deck face down instead. Weird, but okay. Nimlaria Louvre. Special summon one Nimlaria monster or one level 10 beast monster from your hand or deck in defense position. So it's just Nimlaria Louvre. So the only interaction you have in this deck so far is just Book of Moon. But it's not even good Book of Moon because this is an if. So this takes 2 chains to resolve, which is dumb. So let's say, I don't know, your opponent normal summons Moyi. You activate Luve, Moyi resolves, and then uh, Dreaming Reality of Nimlaria here is summoned. And then you can activate this effect to change Moyi to face down defense position. And then like your opponent could do just something, I don't know. Maybe they want to activate the tribute to the add a Worm card or something. Just like whatever. They could do whatever they wanted, straight up. So, just for example, like worst case scenario, let's say our opponent normal summons Rosin. Then they can literally add Borger after seeing you activate this. Like, it's kind of sad. Anyway, Nimlaria Dream Devourer. Let's see. If this card is in your hand, you banish 3 cards from your extra deck face down. So their summoning conditions aren't even the same, are they? No. If once per turn this card is in your hand, you target one monster you control, place it on the bottom of the deck, special summon it. If you have a face-up pendulum monster in your extra deck, you can special summon this card from your hand. And then what's this one? If you have a face-up pendulum monster in your extra deck, you can special summon this card from your hand. So these two have the same summoning conditions, but these two have different summoning conditions for some reason. Okay, that's super easy to remember. What even is this animal? Kind of like an armadillo, I guess? Oh, whoops. That happens, I guess, so. This, what is this? It's a cake monster thing. Okay. And then this is like a goat, kinda. And then this is like, kinda like a werewolfy type thing. And also their names are not easy to say, are they? Orieller? Coete? Cote? Coete. Coet. I have no idea. Okay, and then what is this? Realized. the only easy one to say, and reveal. Re, re, reveal. Re, reveal? What? Okay. So we have Orioler, that's easy to remember. This, and then realized. Okay, I would not know how to refer to these cards in an actual duel, but okay. Sweet Dreams. Add one Nimlaria monster from your deck to your hand, then if you have a Dreaming Nimlaria face up in your extra deck, your opponent cannot activate cards or effects this turn. So, this effect is actually crazy. This card, the only good card I see here, because technically your opponent cannot activate, like, any card effects in their graveyard, they cannot activate anything in their hand, just a whole lot of nothing. Field, traps, spells, nothing can be activated by your opponent. Crazy. Until you read the um, kind of like downside I think this has, right? Does this have a downside? Actually, no, it doesn't. Cool. You can place this card from the graveyard on the bottom of your deck, then target one Dreaming Nimlaria you control, add it to the extra deck face up. What? So if you scale Nimlaria, or maybe if Nimlaria is actually special summoned, I guess, you would be using this to return Nimlaria to the extra deck. Not 100% sure. But actually, there's no downside on this card, surprisingly. But you need Dreaming Nimlaria face up in your extra deck to resolve this effect, right? And then if you have Dreaming Nimlaria in your extra deck, right? Let's check the Pend effect. You cannot special summon Dreaming Nimlaria the turn you activate this effect. And this. You can still summon from the extra deck, right? Yeah, you can, right? Oh, and there isn't that much of a downside aside from having to play Nimlaria cards. If there was like some combo you could do with these guys, I think it might be justifiable actually. So if I had like Nimlaria, so that might do something. But also we have Dream Tower, Princess Nimlaria. Let's read this because this is what you would set, right? I think, right? You can place one Nimlaria continuous spell from your deck or graveyard face up on your field. Okay, so then it would be the Stream Tower of Princess Nimlaria. You can banish two face down cards from your extra deck, face down, add two level 10 beast monsters with different names from your deck to your hand. You cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck the turn you activate this effect. So, simply don't. Cool. Except for Pendulum monsters, you can only use this effect of Dream Tower of Princess Nimlaria once per turn. If Nimlaria monsters you control would be destroyed by battle or an opponent's card effect while you have Dreaming Nimlaria face up in your extra deck, you can banish one face down card from your extra deck face down instead. I mean, there's potential that you'd combo with this, but you just aren't going to be using these main deck monsters as much, I guess. And then, alright, let's see. Nimlaria Repeater. So this is a continuous trap, notably, and this is a continuous spell, right? Checking once again. You can only use this effect once per turn, hard once per turn, if a Nimlaria monster you control would be destroyed by battle or card effect. Banish a card from your extra deck. One face down card from your extra deck, face down instead. So this is not once per turn. Huh. Well, that only protects your Nimlaria monsters. Okay. Then Louvre. That's a permanent attack decrease. Aside from this, it special summons a Nimlaria monster or one level 10 beast monster from your hand or deck in defense position. This cannot be special summoned, so it's just one of these guys. Okay. And then Repeater. If you control another Nimlaria card, so you have to control another Nimlaria card for this. Okay. You can banish the following number of cards from your extra deck face down, except for Dreaming Nimloria, then activate the appropriate effect. Add one Nimloria. Wait a second. Now that I think about this, wait, you can play this with Ninja. Huh. I'm mind blown. But anyways, distraction aside, you banish the following number of cards from your extra deck face down, except for Dreaming Nimlaria. So you can banish technically pens in your extra deck if you have some, like, I don't know, but whatever it is. Add a Nimlaria card from your graveyard to your hand. So you can only activate one of these effects. Okay. Any damage you take this turn is halved. Send one level 10 beast monster you control to the graveyard, and if you do, negate the effects of all face-up monsters your opponent currently controls until the end of this turn. So this is kind of like a worse version almost of what's it called? Blazing Branded King or whatever. So that's a thing. And then what does this say again? If this card is special summon for every 3 of your face down banish cards, you can banish up to 1 card from your opponent's field in a graveyard face down, then shuffle one of your face down banish cards into your deck for each card you banish by this effect. So it looks like this is the kind of deck you might want to play Desires in. How do you banish your cards face down? Even, for example, like a Rise Heart would banish cards face up. So, hmm. To put your own cards face down banished is actually a little bit rough. Like if I want to play this with something else, because I would want to do that to probably recycle them. And this only puts them back in the deck, so that's still fine, I guess. And it's 3. So let's say my desires, I will have 9. And no further questions asked, I special summon Dreaming Nimluria. I can banish 3 of my opponent's cards. Is this a regular banish? No, it's a face down banish at least. Okay. Then you can shuffle face down banish cards into your deck for each. So that'd be 3 cards face down. So if I summon Nimlaria again, that would be 2 cards that I can banish. So actually, it's not as bad as you would think if we're just solely looking at this effect. But I have no idea what you'd be playing with Nimlaria because I don't think you would play this by itself. So it's playable. Not as bad as I thought. I heard rumors that this was just really bad. So yeah, alright. Gold Pride, better luck next time. When this card is activated, you can add 1 Gold Pride monster from your deck to your hand. And if you do, lose LP equal to its attack. If a face-up Gold Pride monsters you control that was special summon from the extra deck returns to the extra deck, except during the down step, you can draw 1 card. You can only use this effect of Gold Pride, better luck next time, once per turn. So this card looks like it would build you like a lot of material over the course of just time in general. The draw effect is hard once per turn though. So there's no point in activating like too many copies of Better Luck next time if you have like all your gold bread stuff in rotation maybe. So I don't know. Maybe well, it depends on situation, you know, context is important. So what is this exactly? Equal to its attack. So what is the attack on this? 1,500? And then let's see, 1,500, 900, 1,800, 2,300. So you don't have ways to regain life points. I don't think so. I think the typical play that makes sense, of course, is to play Gold Pride with Punk. Like, makes perfect sense. Their psychics, their levels are decent for this. Like, this is a level 3 XYZ. So, playing Punk with this makes sense. Your life points lower, so you could special summon Leon later, and you don't lock yourself with the Punk stuff, so it makes perfect sense to just play, I guess, right? Just together, I guess. Okay. Then the draw effect is just nice. You're just drawing like a crap ton of cards and hand traps because you're drawing off of the Punk field spell. And wait, what type is this? Warrior. Okay. So you technically add this off of Rhoda if you really wanted to, but yeah. Actually, does it say except for itself? Wait, what? Non-warrior. Okay, so you can't target Leon. Anyway, uh, looks like you can build up a lot of advantage with Gold Pride, and its grind game is not going to be necessarily that great, is it? Well, actually it is, because it's the monsters return to the extra deck, and then you can just keep summoning these guys. Well, I mean, your life points are going to be pretty low, so you are against Vanquish Soul, and they activate, for example, Heavy Borger to burn, or Snow Devil to burn. Yeah, you could just die, so I'm not sure how quickly they can wrap up games. So I think that's a valid concern. Anyway, Chariot Carry. You can detach one material from this card, add one gold pride spell from your deck to your hand. Then, if your life points are lower than your opponent's, you can send one gold pride monster from your deck to the graveyard. You can only use the previous effect of gold pride Chariot Carry once per turn. Once per turn during the end phase, the previous effect was activated. This turn, return this card to the extra deck, and if you do, special summon one gold pride Captain Carry from your deck or graveyard. So technically, you can just make this. This adds any gold pride spell from your deck to your hand, and you can send a monster as well. So for example, we can do like, we can use this for Leon's effect actually, so this being a rank 3 is pretty easy to make with Punk, just straight up, so intriguing. And actually, now that I think about it, Taka Tomberg, wasn't it? Was it Taka Tomberg? Or whatever. No, it's not Taka Tomberg. What was it called? Terratop, right. So Terratop is now at 3, so this becomes super easy to make. Like, unbelievably so. Okay, so anyone send one gold prime monster from your deck to the graveyard. Previous effect is hard once per turn. So even if your life points are not lower, they will be lowered later. So, not that bad, honestly, right? Well, whatever. And here we have Super Heavy Samurai Commander Kanawo. So this, I have no particularly strong feelings about this one. So as a pendulum effect, and then it has this monster effect which synergizes. So you can special summon this card. Then if you have no spell traps in your graveyard, so this is also on this is on attack declaration, and then change that opponent's monster's attack to 0 and negate its effects. This is a forever negate. And it is specifically that monster, not just any monster. Okay. Whoops. This card can attack one face-up defense position, so the normal, the usual, if it does, apply its defense for damage calc. Once per turn, during the battle phase, soft once per turn. You control this synchro summon card, quick effect, you can special summon one super heavy summon monster card from your graveyard. Or face-up spell and trap zone, then you can place this card in your pendulum zone. So technically, you can do this twice. And I don't think there's, like, either of these skills actually do anything right. Monster effect. This is not a trigger. Monster effect. Not a trigger, so it doesn't do anything if you special summon these guys. But, I mean, at the very least, Big Benkei is just a big guy. And then you can use the first effect, like this effect here, twice, right? So you could technically summon both of those guys. I'm not sure what that really does for you, but whatever. Vanadium Trisuda. This card is Synchro Summon. You can target one level 2 tuner in your graveyard, special summon it, but negate its effects. You can target any number of tuners you control, change their levels to 2. Also, you cannot special summon from the extra deck for the rest of this turn except Synchro monsters. You can only use each effect of Vanadium Trisuda once per turn. So, this essentially is a Monster Reborn type effect, so this is going to be just dumb, like, down the road, just straight up. So, I guess this is technically a Monodium card, but it's completely generic, so I can only see this card being used for degenerate things, honestly. It is a tuner, so this makes it a little awkward, but if you have the material, I don't see this going wrong for you. So just for example, if you have 8s, then you can bring back a level 2 tuner, and then change this to level 2, then you have like 2 Synchro 10s, assuming you have something like, I guess a Chaos Ruler, right? Then you could link off like, or not link off, Synchro with Trisukta, and then Chaos Ruler, and then banish Trisukta, and special summon Chaos Ruler, and then you make just 2 Synchro 10s with that. Oh, that's why Chaos Ruler got banned. It's literally this card. Huh. It all makes sense now. Oh. Anyway, Pinballer. If this card is Fusion Summon, you can equip face-up monsters your opponent controls to it up to the number of fusion materials used. You can only use the previous effect of Gold Pride Pinballer. Once per turn, also if your life points are lower than your opponent's, the effect's activation and effect cannot be negated. So this is insane just because of this. You can't do anything when this gets special summoned. It's just going to get bent. And that is it. So once per turn during the end phase, if the previous effect was activated this turn, return this card to the extra deck, and if you do, special summon 1 Gold Pride. Roller Baller from your deck or graveyard. And Roller Baller, what's this say? If your life points are lower than your opponent's, you can special summon this card from your hand. Damn. During the main phase, quick effect. Wait, this is an Earth. Are these all Earth? No. Okay. Just checking. You can special summon this card from your hand during the main phase. Quick effect, you can fusion summon 1 Gold Pride fusion monster from your extra deck using monsters from either your hand or field as material. And then, assuming your life points are lower, it can just make this, and it's not respondable. And this equips face-up monsters your opponent controls to it. Okay. That's a little brutal. And then, I mean, while we're here, let's read some more. 2 Gold Pride monsters with different levels. You can target 1 monster your opponent controls, destroy it, then if your life points are lower than your opponent's, you can destroy all cards in its... Wait, this is a monster, right? Okay. Destroy all cards in its adjacent monster zones and spell and trap zones, so that's funky kind of removal, like, kind of like Spriggan's X-Blower, I believe it was. So, that's cool, I guess. You can only use this effect of Gold Pride Nitro Blaster once per turn, and then, once per turn during the end phase, if this effect was active this turn, return this card to the extra deck, and if you do, special summon 1 Gold Pride Nitro Head from your deck or graveyard. So, this one's not a quick effect. So these two, not quick effects. These two, quick effects. Got it. And then, Nitro Head. If your life points are lower than your opponent's, you can special summon this card from your hand during your opponent's standby phase. You can special summon 1 Nitro token to your opponent's field, but it cannot be used as link material. So this can't be linked off. This will just be annoying. So this already just trashes on Cash. So yeah, just because of this card, I don't think Cash is going to be able to play that well, considering you have 1 birth now. Yeah. So special summon the token. It can't be used as link material, so it's effectively like kind of a mine, I guess. It can still be used for like synchro though, I guess. And during your opponent's main phase, quick effect, you can target 1 Nitro token on the field. Destroy that token, also destroy all cards in its adjacent monster zones and spell and trap zones. Ah, so it really is a mine. So you can just quick effect whenever, destroy that Nitro token, everything like adjacent to it will be destroyed. It's probably the same as Explorer Zone, so alright, I guess. Is this possible to play around? If I take up 1 extra monster zone... Oh. Oh, I see. So if you're doing a Link summon, you can never play around Nitro Head. Well, that's not great. Alright, I guess. And then Gold Pride, the crowd goes wild. Deal 1 Gold Pride monster in your hand, add 1 Gold Pride monster with a different name from your deck to your hand, then you can apply the following effect. Special summon 1 Gold Pride monster from your hand, but lose life points equal to its original attack. So this card is, like, pretty good. This is probably a 2 of or a 3 of. Depending on, like, how many Gold Pride monsters you're actually playing. If you're playing with, like, Punk, maybe 2 is better. Well, whatever, I guess. Gold Pride. That came out of nowhere. Special summon 1 Gold Pride monster from your hand or graveyard, then your opponent can special summon 1 monster from their hand or graveyard to their field, but negate its effects. You are never playing this card. Like, never. This is definitely going to be a 0 of, unless you're using this for something specific. So, alright, I guess. Pedal to the Metal. Target 1 Gold Pride monster you control until the end of the turn. It gains 500 attack. It cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects, and it cannot activate its effects during the end phase if a phase of gold pride monster you control is destroyed by battle or card effect. This turn you set this card from your graveyard. And hard once per turn. But this is not a hard once per turn, weirdly enough. And this recycles, it's only this that recycles, okay. So this might be a one of or a none of. So, alright. Gold Pride, start your engines. If your opponent normal or special summons a monsters, target one of uh those monsters, reveal 3 Gold Pride monsters from your deck. Opponent randomly picks one for you to special summon. Shuffle the rest into your deck, then destroy targeted monster. So this is pretty good, I guess. So it doesn't say different names, so I could do uh Roller Baller, Roller Baller, Roller Baller, or Leon, Leon Roller Baller, just something like that, and that is pretty decent, I guess, right? But technically, you were thinking of using it with that came out of nowhere. Technically, you can use that to destroy your opponent's monster, and then summon a copy of Nitro Head in like standby phase. So you could technically do that, and that would be alright, I guess, actually. So this becomes a little more valid, but I mean, don't these cards like summon themselves anyway? Yeah, if your life points are lower than your opponent's, you can special summon this card from your hand. Do they all have this effect? Yeah, then why would I ever play this? Why would I special summon, use this to special summon a gold prime monster from my hand? I guess it would be if you want to summon it from graveyard. So maybe after Chariot Carry. But you only have 2/3, so it's just like, it's pretty awkward. And then what's this do? Gold Pride Captain Carry. If your life points are lower than your opponent, special summon it, blah blah. If this card is normally special summon, you can add 1 Gold Pride Trap from your deck to your hand. If this card is sent to the graveyard, you can target 1 Gold Pride monster you control that was special summoned from the extra deck, banish up to 3 Gold Pride cards from your graveyard, and if you do, monster gains 500 attack for each card banished this way. So that doesn't do a whole lot, but you can add a Gold Pride trap. So start your engines, and then Gold Pride, it's neck and neck. Target 1 Gold Pride monster you control, or 1 Gold Pride card in your graveyard, except for Gold Pride, it's neck and neck. Return it to the hand. Okay. If your opponent controls a monster with higher attack than your life points, so you would have to be fairly low life points for this. You can banish this card and 1 Gold Pride monster from your graveyard. Special summon 1 other Gold Pride monster from your extra deck that mentions that banished monster's name. So all of them mention like one of the guys, I guess, like for this float effect here. So that's what it means, I guess. Okay. And then you can only use each effect of Gold Pride. It's neck and neck once per turn. So you can do the first effect technically, and then the second effect in the same turn. Alright. So the only target you have to summon is going to be, let's see. Gold Pride Star Leon. That is the only card you can summon off of its neck and neck. The reason being Leon is the only one that can actually activate. None of them can activate aside from Leon, assuming it's your opponent's turn. So this is probably the one that's going to be summoned the most. So during the main phase, quick effect, no condition. It's just this. Okay. So you would probably just summon Leon, pop some guys, whatever. So you can't summon Pinballer here because this has to be fusion summoned. So you can't do that. Well, I mean, you can summon this, but it just won't do anything. They'll kind of sit there on the field. Chariot, Nitro Blaster, likewise, don't do anything. Their effects are ignition. Crane, for some reason, is here. When this card is normal summon, you can target 1 level 3 monster in your graveyard. Special summon that target, but negate its effects. There's literally no reason to play this. Okay. And anything else? Oh. Super Heavy Samurai Soul Gaia Booster. I think this is just an extender that you play. So, whatever. You can target 1 Super Heavy Samurai monster you control, equip this card from your indoor field to that monster you control. The equipped monster is treated as a tuner. Oh, that might be useful for something. If you have no spells / traps in your graveyard and this card was equipped to a monster by this card's effect. What? You can special summon this equipped card. Uh, I'm not sure. Does this effect go away, actually, if you unequip this? Not sure. Well, either way. Card once per turn, and you can special summon it. Extender. Super Heavy Samurai Security. This card is normal or special summoned. You can add one face-up Machine Pendulum monster from your extra deck to your hand. If you have no spells, traps in your graveyard, you attribute this card special summon one Earth Machine monster with 1,500 or less attack from your hand or graveyard. Well, probably not like played. I don't see why you would play that. Super Heavy Samurai Stealthy. If you have no spells slash traps in your graveyard, you can special summon this card from your hand. You can only special summon Super Heavy Samurai Stealthy once per turn. This way, if you have no spells slash traps in your graveyard, quick effect, you attribute this card, then target one spell trap in your opponent's graveyard set to your field, but banish it when it leaves the field. Yeah, this card's actually not that bad. So this just special summons itself as a level 1 monster. Uh, Straight up, okay. But you can only special summon Super Heavy Samurai Stealthy. There's no other condition to this, really. Aside from having no spells or traps in your graveyard. So, that's fine. Oh, what are these? Pendulum Pendant. Banish 5 face-up Pendulum monsters from your extra deck. Place 1 Pendulum monster from your deck or face-up extra deck in your Pendulum Zone. You can banish this card from your graveyard, then target 1 card in any Pendulum Zone. Reduce its Pendulum scale by 1. Minimum 0. You can only activate 1 Pendulum Pendant per turn. What? So I have to banish 5 face-up Pendulum monsters, so let's say I do that, okay? I can then place 1 Pendulum monster from my deck or face-up extra deck in your Pendulum Zone. Why? This card seems like utter garbage. Is there, like, even a deck that can play this, like, reasonably? Like, assuming you have something you actually do want to, place? Like, something you want to scale? Is there any deck that actually just puts, like, 5 dead face-up Pendulum monsters into your extra deck? Like, no, right? What? Okay, I guess, then. That came out of nowhere. Metal to the metal. So these have artwork like that. Okay. So yeah, they all have like some associated monster. Realm Resonance. Activate one of these effects. Special summon one monster with 1,500 attack slash 2,100 defense from your graveyard. Shuffle into the deck one of your Vice of Starfrost and 4 of your monsters with 1,500 attack, 2,100 defense that are banished in your graveyard and or face up on your field. And if you do, special summon one Vice of Synchro monster from your extra deck. This is treated as a synchro summon. Wait a second. Does that have something to do? Uh, any of these guys? Does this do something? No. What are you synchro summoning with that? How does this work? Wait a second. Uh, Special summon one Vices synchro monster from your extra deck. Equivalent to attack one of your Vices Starfrost and 4 of your monsters with 1,500 attack, 2,100 defense that are banished in your graveyard and or face up on your field. Vices synchro monster. What? Hold up. Realm Resonance, Vices Starfrost, synchro. Time Heart. None of them are tuners, so that doesn't matter, right? But actually, this isn't. Does this count as Vices? I don't think it is. Vices Amritara is probably the only card that counts as Vices, right? Unless a new Synchro monster drops, this card is complete utter garbage because the payoff is like non-existent. Okay then. I guess it's cool that you can like use this as a monster reborn though, I guess. Sure. But at this point, just play actual Monster Reborn, I guess. But I guess this is technically searchable because it mentions Vice of Starfrost. Okay, whatever then. Activate only while Vice of Starfrost is on the field. Once per turn, if a monster you control is destroyed by battle or card effect and sent to the graveyard or banished, you can activate one of these effects. Special summon one of those monsters in defense position. One tuner on the field gains attack equal to half the original attack of one of those monsters. Shuffle one of those monsters into the deck, and if you do, draw one card. Shuffle this card into the deck, and if you do, add one field spell from your graveyard to your hand. So the effect here is soft once per turn. Weird. So do these do anything? Shuffle one of those monsters. One tuner on the field, switch summon one of those monsters. So the card has to be destroyed by either battle or card effect specifically, so you can't use this to bring back, like, for example, Formula Synchron. So, well, I mean, you can bring back Formula Synchron with this, but it doesn't do a whole lot because you would have to destroy it first. Okay. Draw a card. Gain attack. Shuffle this card into the deck, and if you do, add one field spell from your graveyard to your hand. I guess it's mostly this effect that you're looking to use. So effect number 4, to add something like Brillarino or something, Raid Zoth, doesn't super matter. Cool, I guess. That's all that does. Build Pride, start your engines. New World Stars. This card is new. Well, you control Vice's Starfrost. The first time each monster you control would be destroyed by a bell each turn. It is not destroyed during your end phase. If you control Vice's Starfrost, you can target one monster in your graveyard, shuffle it into the deck, or if you control a tuner synchro monster, you can add it to your hand instead. I mean, for grind game reasons, this card's like not that bad, but it's like, what turn are you trying to play to? Yeah, New World Stars not looking that crazy, right? If you control the Starfrost, target one, add it to your hand. It's just any monster though, right? Oh, wait a second. This card's just so annoying then. Well, this isn't going to matter, but technically you can just keep adding like Maxi or Ash Blossom Joyous Spring to your hand with the effect of New World Stars. I mean, you need a Tuner Synchro monster, which I don't know like what Tuner Synchro monster you would have on the field, but this is a Tuner Synchro. And this is also a Tuner Synchro, but they have no like effect. So I don't know why you'd keep them, but is there even a Tuner Synchro that actually has a meaningful effect? Actually, I remember like every single Tuner Synchro. No, there isn't. Well, actually, if you summon it back, maybe like with something like Amritara or something, if it gets summoned back and it just stays on your board, maybe, I guess. It's like fine, I guess. I guess these are just the new cards. So yeah, that's all I got for you guys today, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.